Before now, I had worked as a TV producer with Inspire Africa and did a couple of productions for Inspire Africa, Moment to Mo, Niger Diamonds, and then we decided we were going to start our own production company. And so I left Inspire Africa as a freelance producer. We came down to Abuja, moved from Lagos to, we actually went 2 ways, Port Harcourt and Abuja. And that's how Familiar Ground started here in Abuja, just barely 3 years ago.
You know, we'd love to do, one of the favorite things we like to do together is to watch TV. For me, it's entertainment. For him, it's like his homework. And as we're watching TV, it just suddenly dawned on us that there was very little that we could find that is contemporary and that has to do with the northern culture. And we decided, what can we do from the north that is rich, you know, that can show the vibrant culture, the exciting people, and of course the things that they go through and their lives, and also to make it intriguing enough for television.
This morning, just to appreciate you and to make his happiness
When Dimbo came to me and approached me and said, Amy, I have this idea about a northern series, about 3 brothers. I mean, a very everyday story, but told from a northern perspective. And I saw it and I said, okay, Dimbo, go and do the work. You know, give me the story idea. Let's look at the scripting. Let's look at the cast, the locations. And he came back, you know, of course, within a certain amount of time with everything. And I said to him, let's give this a shot.
When we got commissioned by Ebony Live to do Sons of the Caliphate, we knew, and particularly me as a producer, I knew it was something that I wanted to take my time to work on. I didn't want it to be one of those sharp, so to say, productions that you just put things together. And knowing Mo Abudu, who is very meticulous and very detailed about things, I knew I had the right executive producer to work with. So for us, initially, it was, okay, so we have an idea. It was to create the story and put it in the right perspective. So it was very important that we got the story very right. And so we opened up the writer's room and had a couple of writers come in, and we did our first writers retreat just to go through the story. And the entire writing process, so to say, took almost about 7 months just to get the story right, because we wanted to make sure that we told a story that was different, something that was really compelling, something that was really fresh, and because we had an opportunity, like I said, telling another story. We didn't want the story to be very conventional. Of course, conventional, but we wanted to tell the story in a way that people would appreciate it more.
That's why Peter will now be like, okay, I didn't really live there, you know, and all that. And then maybe Mark will now change to
so it just
and that's when she'll now be like, okay, because maybe the first place she'll be like, I grew up in Kaduna.
What struck me about the story is that it's a northern-based story with northern characters. And growing up in Bauchi myself, I could recognize some things, some nuances, culture, fashion, even locations. And that was interesting for me. And that made me connect more to the characters and to the story generally.
So I got the brief from the producer, that's Dimbo Atsia, and it is a sort of story that has never been done before. I told myself that I was going to be proud of to work on this particular project because it's going to be totally different from what people really see on TV. Here you actually see the whole swagger of the North, the sort of costumes that people wear in the North, and people have an impression of what what Northerners are all about. But this series is just trying to break that whole stereotype, and that's why I decided to just jump on the bandwagon.
How it all started was I posted some pictures on Facebook and did a Facebook ad for them, and I got contacted by the producer, Dimbo. He picked a couple of outfits and asked if we could provide them for the show. I looked at the storyline for the show, looked at the characters, and I could see that the characters would fit into our ideal DLV customer. So Binta is an events planner. She's very independent. So we wanted to put her in outfits where she could show her sense of style and her independence in the sense that she's not entirely conforming to the very strict ways some northern people dress. So she was able to get a good blend of being totally covered up and also being decent but not exposed. There was a particular scene in the show that was about 9 minutes long, and the character Binta had to do a lot of movements. She had to give a lot of expressions. So we needed to put her in an outfit that would ensure the highest form of mobility while she still looks amazing, while she still looks regal, while she still looks like a queen and very powerful. So we put her in this black and blue kaftan with silver embellishments, and it was really great for that particular scene.
Kill him. Take him out. Makes him...
Babe, calm down. You never wish like that now. What? Kill him? I wasn't thinking that far.
It was about 8 to 10 pages. I got scared, like, oh my God, I can't do this. The scene was one of the most important scenes in the entire film. Just because their fathers are rich, just because they are sons of the Caliphate. My experience in Sons of the Caliphate was fantastic and great. I actually met a lot of actors and actresses on the set. I love all the characters. I love Paul Sambo being Khalifa bin Miyagi, and I like Lottie even, and Diko, the stubborn Diko, and of course Nuhu Mofe.
I love Nuhu's acerbic wit. I love Diko's impetuousness, Khalifa's charm, Binta's this je ne sais quoi quality. There's this thing that draws people to her, and you can't really put your finger on it. And that's each of those characteristics. I really enjoyed bringing life to those aspects of them, and the little Hausa phrases, that was fun too. Even though I don't speak Hausa, which is very odd, but
personally for me, I was very interested in becoming Nuhu. I had done the reading and I wasn't quite sure the day I did the reading if I'd gotten it or not, and I kept texting Dimbo, I'm like, so how was the reading, And I was like, don't worry, we've all agreed they're going to be Nuhu. So Nuhu is very precious to me. He's my first Northern-based character. He's a rich boy. He's well brought up, educated, spent most of his time abroad. He's very interested in what happens with his life. He likes his own space. Don't encroach on my space. Let me do what I got to do. At some part in the story, he has to be forced away from his career role just so that he can save the dynasty of his family. And this, of course, causes tension between him and his father, him and his best friend, and literally everything starts to spiral down from there. For me, being Nuhu was, like I said, very challenging. I found myself talking to myself a lot, just so I can get the Hausa accent properly. I didn't want to sound like someone who is trying hard to speak Hausa. I missed playing Nuhu when I stopped playing Nuhu, because I remember I got back to another set, and you talking with the Hausa accent. I'm talking to myself that, isn't there a character that you can give me that would make me speak like this when slapped or something, If for any reason it is the wrong SD card, I tell you, Oma-san, I would not take this very lightly. I'll make myself clear.
Thank you.
In terms of the directorial approach, when I read the script, I called up the producer and we talked about the fact that in this particular series, we need to have a lot of movement. So if the camera is not moving, the actors need to be in constant motion. And if they are not moving, then of course their rendition needs to be fast, because a lot of series these days that you see on TV or Nigerian productions or African productions, basically, the whole concept of big management is all about dragging the way you talk. And when you drag the way you talk, it's usually very boring. So we wanted something that's going to be fast that people are going to just get engaged in.
You're under arrest for money laundering. Can you kindly step down, please?
I actually love the whole arrogance of Diko, and I love the way, Mofe, carries himself, especially because he's just trying to talk about, because he's supposed to be this character that was abroad for some time, and of course, he came back to Nigeria, but being a drug addict after going to some rehabilitation center and all of that, and the whole smooth way he talks to Binta. And the way, even whether it's on the set or off the set, and the way she actually took to him and all of that, And then, of course, you're talking about Khalifa, and the way that Khalifa believes that, okay, he's this royalty. Even when you're talking to him offset, he believes that, okay, he's a sort of royalty.
Now listen to me. I am going to keep silent under few conditions.
And what would those be?
This is it. That after the turbaning, you shall return back to Lagos. Kanajina? Yes. Until I summon your presence at any time in Kua.
The only way I could describe that character Khalifa is in my dialect, Hausa. Bukashaho. Meaning that even the hyena knows the house of the man with the biggest stick. It's seismic. Khalifa was conflicted as a husband and also a lover to Loti because his wife was an arranged marriage. I mean, he never chose her. It was given to him because of his lineage as a royalty, and he never wanted even the throne. So why would he want the wife who was arranged for him?
Okay, but let me tell you, I am the daughter of the Galadima.
And I am the prince of
Khalifa, please be a prince and treat me like a decent human being.
What how do you want me to treat you? When you are just here giving me problems, you are my problem, you disturb me.
Loti was a choice of his. She was his woman, and his girlfriend, who he actually chose, he made the choice himself. I mean, so he was kind of like, she was like a cushion to him, and that one was like, how would I say, it was like thorns.
Laila, wallahi, this is so beautiful. This is brilliant. Oh, Loti, where have you been all my life? This is what I've been missing.
I loved playing Lottie, more so because she plays a very pivotal role in the story in terms of making it seamless, and she shows a different side to one of the main characters, Khalifa. And also because she's a mistress, it wasn't a stereotypical case where you have a kept woman somewhere who doesn't have a job with no money and she's living off him. It wasn't like that. With her, she was quite independent, educated. She had her job, which was a professional photographer. She had a successful business, an apartment, and unfortunately she fell in love with the wrong person who happened to be a prince.
How much is it? 7.5. 7, but like, yeah, I think it's okay.
So Diko is actually is an arrogant son of a billionaire who's just having a field day.
See, let me tell you. Bakasani. Everyone you see has a price.
No one has been able to buy them yet. Come read.
Maybe nobody has used the right currency, the correct currency, to do that.
Diko was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, while Yakubu Mohammed struggled right from when he was 10 years old, if I'm to go down the memory lane. So they're two different personalities. So I have to go and learn what the children of the halves, the way they behave, the way they live their lives in the society.
Since you don't like expensive things, I decided to get you a cheap one. Frada Nuno from Koa, from Mama Bilkis. She's the best in the world.
The general message of the Sons of the Caliphate, I think it has to do with this phrase that law of karma and nemesis still exist. I enjoyed every bit of my stay on the set because it was just work, no nonsense, discipline. How will I put it? So many things are done the way it should. It's not a normal production where you just put on your costume. Sometimes you don't even know what you're going to do. Maybe the director just tell you, oh, you come, you meet this person here, then you talk to him, then you go back. No. You have to, okay, there's a person that's going to read the script for you. After even reading it to you, now dissect it down. The person will now come and tell you exactly the scene before the script, the scene before the scene that you're going to do, and the scene that is after that scene, so that you'll be able to assimilate the whole thing and be in the character and know the pros and cons so that you'll be able to bring out the best in you.
One of the success of Sons of the Caliphate season 2 was because a lot was put into planning. And there was also this understanding between every department. The director sat us down, sat the whole crew down. We discussed with the whole crew, we explained the vision. We had a production board, was on point. So everything was just all put together. And I think the audience should expect something that is brilliant. Brilliant performance, brilliant directing, brilliant costuming, brilliant location. One of the things we did with season 2 again was we tried to, show Abuja in its glory. And I think that's one of the things that the fans of the show should expect. If you think that season 1 was beautiful, I think you should wait and see season 2 because it's something you've never seen before.
We knew that there was a need for a season 2 of Sons of the Caliphate after the huge success of season 1. When we went into the venture of telling a northern story in mainstream Nigerian television, it was something that was unprecedented, like something that people could hardly even picture. But like I keep saying, Mo Abudu was brilliant enough to see it instantly. And so we took the gamble and shot season 1, and it premiered to very high reviews. It was amazing the kind of comments that came in, the write-ups, and all the feedback that we got from the fans. And we instantly knew that we had something solid in our hands, and we needed to create a second season just for the sake of the fans because they were demanding for it. Because there were a lot of questions that were not answered at the end of the season, not because it was deliberate. It was a part of the story to say, you know what, let's keep these people in suspense. And so we knew that coming into season 2, the approach was going to be different. Why? Because we did not want it to be a TV series that was predictable. So we decided that we were going to tell a season 2 story that had a continuation from season 1, but was completely a different approach.
It is extraordinary to see the colors, the lifestyle, and the vibe of the North being opened up in such a commercial way on television. And we are so thrilled that our viewers have taken this series to heart and literally can't wait for more. So tune into Emily Live TV to see your favorite characters come to life yet again in a series filled with intrigue, filled with love, hate, passion, corruption, and unraveling of truths and getting to the bottom of it.
It's a story worth telling, and then you kind of like imagine the feedback it will get from the people, and it's even more, it motivates you more. And by the time you start getting the shots in and you're seeing the emotions and you feel them even right there on set, it just gives you enough power to go through. So I think for us, there are absolutely no regrets. This is one from the Familiar Ground stable that we're really, really proud of.
And action.
I think it's successful because it is well done. So we're very careful about those that we work with to ensure that they understand the word quality and the word premium, and I'm really pleased that Dimbo does understand that and that we have this incredible series. Season 1 has been done. It was very successful on the channel. I mean, the production design was incredible, the storytelling, the locations, it looked rich, it had tradition, it had culture, it had everything that should make a series complete. And season 2 is now here. And it looks absolutely incredible. Dimbo, great job with you and the team. And our viewers are really, really going to enjoy Sons of the Caliphate.
I will not leave this place alive.